why do they have to put me in the second half of the show? I'm not young anymore. I can't put up with this, man. I'm getting on in years, man. I'm getting on, but I'm not as old as I look, folks. People think I'm older because of this. I got news for you. This is not a receding hairline. I am not losing any hair. I'm just getting more head. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, all this is, folks, is simply that I'm a product of the 1980s. You guys remember the 1980s? Give it up for the 1980s. The 80s were awesome. The 80s were awesome, man. It was the age of overabundance, man. We had it all. We had Reaganomics. We had micro machines. We had cocaine. Trust me, I know every weekend it was, whoa. This is not a receding hairline, people. I spent a decade putting this right where I wanted it. But we were just some crazy kids, man. You guys remember being a crazy kid? Yeah, we were just crazy kids, smoking pot, trying to hide it from our parents. Now we're parents, smoking pot, trying to hide it from our kids. I never dreamed 20 years ago when I was standing on the toilet seat blowing into that little fan up there that 20 years later I'd be standing on the toilet seat. Put a towel under the door. It's crazy though, man. You get older, you take on responsibilities, you get kids. Anybody here with kids? Where are my parents at? Babysitter's making money in Wilmington tonight! Yeah, spend all this money to go see a show and spend 3 times as much to pay the 16-year-old to watch your kids. Yep. Somebody 20 years old just went, yep. What was that about? It's crazy though, man, because I'm a parent. I got 2 kids. I got 2 boys, man, age 5 and 15. Yeah, let that sink in for a minute real quick here. 5 and 15. Which of course means every decade or so, I get lucky. Cannot wait for 2012! It's going to be a good year for me. You know, it's not really true. My oldest, he just turned 16 just a few weeks ago. My oldest is 16 years old, yeah. He's 6.5 feet tall and 90 pounds. And I've been divorced for a while. I've been divorced for like 5 years, and he lives with his mother. And on his birthday, at 6 a.m., his mother calls me, and I'm like, what could he have possibly done at this hour? But it's not that he did anything. He's 16 years old, right? He's got his driver's permit, and Mama wants no part of that. So she calls up and says, King, I think this is the semester that he comes to live with you. And I got to thinking, I'm trying to make this comedy thing work out. I work late at night. I work in bars. I drink a lot. And Daddy needs a designated driver. Because that learner's permit, folks, if you read it, it just says you have to have an adult licensed driver in the passenger seat. Doesn't say anything about what state of inebriation he can be in, or whether he's even actually conscious. So this summer we're going on tour. Woo! My youngest is 5, Ty is 5 years old, and those of you who are parents, you know the kids are just, you know, they come into your life and they change it, don't they? They just absolutely change your life. You have kids and they just wreck it. And this little boy, he's the sweetest little boy in the world, but his entire life he's had difficulty breathing, you know? And we went through all these asthma treatments, and he did all this, and they took the steroids and all this stuff, and nothing seemed to help, nothing seemed to work. Took him to an allergist 3 weeks ago. He doesn't have asthma, folks. He just has allergies. He's allergic to cats and marijuana. So basically what I'm getting at is, would anybody like to adopt a cat? Somebody want to take a little kitty home? It's really nice to be here, really nice to do something for a cause. And before I get out of here, I just want to let you guys know that 3 years ago I lost my father to cancer. And let me tell you, when you lose somebody, it really wrecks your life, and it's hard, and it's financially hard, it's emotionally hard. But I got to tell you, tonight I'm celebrating my father because my father was one hell of a man. He was a good-looking man. My dad was married to my mom for 40 years, but it never stopped him from getting a piece of ass. He was a handsome man. He could walk into any bar, any club, pick up a woman like that, And you know, we had a happy family growing up until he passed away, and we had a little argument in my family about what to do with Dad. Because Mom had read, and you guys can do this, you know, if you want to, but it's true. You can have your body cremated, folks, when you pass away. They can take your ashes, put it in a giant pressure cooker, and you will come out 18 months later a diamond. And Mama figured he never bought any jewelry in life. She was going to get hers now. I thought it sounded sick. Sounds kind of sick. Sounds kind of weird, doesn't it? So I said, no, I can't do that. My father, the last thing he said to me is, he said, King, when I die, I want to be surrounded by scantily clad women. So my father's passed away, and my mother and I, we argued for a while, and we decided we'd just compromise. We'd split the ashes in half, and she would just get earrings. She called the other day, just yelling, your father fell down the kitchen sink drain. Like it's his damn fault. And I had the other half of Dad, and I decided I would follow his wishes. I would take his ashes to a clothing optional beach in California, which meant I had to get on an airplane, and I wasn't going to put an urn on an airplane, folks. You got to worry about terrorism then, right? So I just put him in a little baggie and rolled him up and stuffed him in the front of my pants. I flew United Airlines with a quarterback of Dad. Got to this beach, reached down deep into the front of my pants and started tossing Dad into the wind. Amazing grace. People were pissed. This one little girl, 23 years old, topless, comes up to me and says, would you stop throwing all that sand? It's getting all in my swimsuit. And even in death, Dad got in some chick's pants.